Hello, my name is Nick. I'm a real estate agent for Zachos Realty here in Sarasota, Florida. In this video, I'd like to share with you my family and I's experience in deciding to move from Ohio down to Florida, and more specifically the Gulf Coast of Florida. I'll share why we chose this area, our decision-making process, and maybe some things that we would do a little differently. We'll also highlight a few of the areas I would recommend looking for people that aren't familiar with the Tampa, St. Pete, and Sarasota neighborhoods. So let's dive in and get started. My wife and I are both originally from Ohio, both graduating from Ohio State University, which is where we met. She works in healthcare, and I was originally in the construction industry before transitioning to real estate. Shortly after we graduated, we decided to try something new and move. We knew we needed somewhere with a warmer climate because Ohio winters are awful. So we tossed around some places like North Carolina and Arizona before finally settling on Florida. Neither of us had any close family here, but like a lot of people had visited here for spring breaks and summer vacations. We said we'll give it maybe 5 years. We could always move back, but we fell in love with the warm weather and beaches and haven't looked back. Moving to Florida was one of the best decisions we made. Not just because of the weather, but we've loved the communities that we've lived in, and professionally there have been a ton of opportunities for us down here. After deciding on Florida, our next decision was where in Florida do we want to be? It really came down to Gulf Coast versus East Coast. We didn't really want to live in Miami. That lifestyle didn't really fit us, and we wanted to be close to the beaches, so that eliminated Orlando. We liked the beaches on the Gulf Coast more, so decided to start our search there. Being in our mid to late 20s, and we also wanted to be in an area that was not a retirement community and had lively downtown areas. Doing our research, and after a weekend trip to the St. Petersburg Clearwater area, we knew this was a place that we could call home. Ultimately, we chose to live in St. Petersburg because it's centrally located between Tampa and Clearwater and a quick drive down to Sarasota. We loved being a 20 to 30 minute drive to everything, and from there we could rent an apartment and figure out where we wanted to live. For anyone looking to relocate to the Gulf Coast, I would highly recommend the St. Petersburg area. First and foremost, the beaches here spanning from Clearwater down through Paso Grove Beach are amazing. I think there's almost 40 miles of white sand beaches to enjoy, and each of those small beach towns offer their own unique touch and local restaurants and shops. The downtown area in St. Pete was a big selling point for us as well. There's a ton of great breweries and restaurants and festivals to enjoy year-round. Also, Tropicana Field is downtown, which is where the Tampa Bay Rays play. We both love baseball, so we made it a point to attend as many games as possible. The best part about relocating to St. Pete, like I said, is the location. It gave us the opportunity to visit Tampa and Sarasota, and being close to 3 airports was really convenient for us, especially when traveling back home to Ohio. Finding an apartment to rent in St. Petersburg wasn't too difficult for us. There's still now a ton of new apartment complexes being built, so we just wanted to make sure the location worked for us and for our jobs. We ended up at an apartment just off of Gandy Boulevard, which was perfect because my wife worked at Morton Plant in Clearwater, and my office was just over the bridge in Tampa, so it was just a 20 to 30 minute drive for both of us, depending on the time of year. It was easy for us to adjust to the Florida lifestyle. Going to the pool at our apartment or the beach every weekend was great. And there were so many local restaurants to choose from. It seemed like we were going to a new place just about every week. Just seeing the sun every day was amazing, which if you've ever lived up north, you know is not a luxury you have during the winters. What took us time to get used to was the traffic. This being a tourist destination, we quickly learned that you have to account for some extra time in the car each day, especially during snowbird season. From around October until early May, there's an influx of tourists and seasonal residents that make travel times much longer. Bars and restaurants will be busier and the beaches are going to be packed. It took us time to get used to this, but we learned to try and avoid rush hour traffic and found some hidden gems in beaches and restaurants that were a little less known to the seasonal visitors. This time of year isn't always ideal for residents, but you learn to live with it. The way I look at it, people want to visit paradise for vacation, and we're lucky enough to enjoy it year-round. I think for anyone relocating to Florida from the Midwest, getting used to the change in weather is going to be on your mind. I was nervous at first because I thought maybe it would be too hot here. We're not used to that type of heat in Ohio. And yeah, it does get pretty hot here, but let me tell you, a few months of hot weather beats 6 months of cold weather up north any day of the week. From maybe June through September, it is hot, but it's more so the humidity that people have an issue with. And one of the beneficial things of living on the coast compared to somewhere inland like Orlando is that we have the breeze from the ocean, which definitely helps on those hot and humid days. And if it is one of those days where the heat index is, 110, just jump in the pool or stay inside and crank the AC. You don't have to feel guilty about staying inside on those days because you can enjoy the weather here year round, while others are huddled up next to a heater in northern parts of the country for half the year. After living in St. Petersburg for almost 2 years, my wife and I decided to look into purchasing a house or a condo. We eventually landed on the small coastal town of Dunedin, which is just north of Clearwater. I've done a few videos on Dunedin in the past, so I won't get into too much detail on the city, but if you've never been there, I would really recommend a weekend trip. You won't regret it. This is a golf cart community with tons of breweries, local restaurants, and boutiques in the downtown area. The city hosts festivals and parades year-round, including some of our favorites, which are Mardi Gras, St. Patrick's Day, and they have 2 golf cart Christmas parades. It's a blast. However, Dunedin can be a bit pricey, so I wanted to list a few of the other neighborhoods I would recommend looking into. Palm Harbor is another small coastal town just north of Dunedin that we visited frequently. You get a Midwest feel while being right on the ocean. Safety Harbor is great as well. This is just north of St. Petersburg on Tampa Bay. They have a really fun downtown area. Madeira Beach and Treasure Island are 2 of our favorite beach towns. Those are just west of St. Pete. In Sarasota, some of our favorite neighborhoods are Lakewood Ranch, which is a newer area northeast of Sarasota that has a cute downtown area and newer built homes and developments. Palmer Ranch, which is where we recently purchased. It's one of the most popular areas to live in Sarasota. It's a master plan community where most of the developments offer resort-style amenities. There's also Welland Park, which is another master plan community south of Sarasota that's being built out as we speak. The downtown area here is going to be great. This is also where the Atlanta Braves just moved their spring training facility to. I can go on and on about the best places to live here. There are a ton of options. These are just some of the places we considered buying. Living on the Gulf Coast of Florida has been great for my wife and I. For anyone considering moving here, I would recommend pulling the trigger. You won't regret it. There's something here for everyone. Whether you're looking for a seasonal property or a rental, maybe a retirement community, young professionals looking to relocate, or for young families looking to start a new life here. We just can't recommend it enough. This has just been a quick look into what the experience of moving here was like for us. I can go on and on about the area and how much we've loved living here. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. I do appreciate it. Again, my name is Nick with Zachos Realty. Please feel free to reach out anytime with any of your real estate needs. Thank you.